everyone. This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show. My name is Vanita Lambert, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. It's always a pleasure to be here every single week. It's just becoming a passion for me to have an audience to talk to about several different things. And of course, I always like to start off with, the biggest problem that we have right now, which I think, in my opinion, and everybody have their own opinion, is the pandemic. It's getting better. It's not over. I just went and got my booster yesterday, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be up to doing this show. But look at me, I'm fine. I feel good. The only thing I needed was a few extra hours of sleep. So I had the Johnson & Johnson one-dose vaccine back in March of 2021, well, this year. And so I just got my second Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I believe you should stick with whatever you started with, just yesterday. So they're calling it a booster. So I guess I have my booster because I was a little concerned about the numbers going up. And the holidays, I want to get out and I want to be with people. I like to network. I love just, communicating with people, interacting with people, and that's what I do. So I want to make sure I'm protected. And of course, if I'm in a large setting, I always wear my mask if I go to the grocery store, when I go to the gym, and things like that. So I try to protect others because there are children who are unable to get vaccinated. So you want to protect them. And plus, I have a 3-month-old granddaughter, so I definitely want to protect her. So it's up to you to do what you feel like you need to do to be safe, to protect yourself, and to protect your loved ones. I haven't had a chance to watch too much news lately. I'm like an avid news watcher. I watch all the news channels, but it is Medicare annual enrollment period, and that's my number one priority, so I have not watched that much news. But I will be back on top of those numbers. I think I'm going to have a day off this weekend, so I'll be able to, watch CNN, watch Fox, watch MSNBC, and of course, watch New Haven and Bridgeport news channels, as I like to do. But speaking of Medicare annual enrollment period, this is the time for everyone who has a Medicare Advantage plan, or some people like to refer to it as a Part C plan. This is the time. You have about 18 more days to review your plan, see if there's anything that changed in your life, your medications that might make you want to switch or look at another plan, or just make sure that everything you need is in that particular plan. Because having the wrong plan is, that can be really detrimental to your insurance. Because if you're in the wrong plan and you're seeing a bunch of specialists and you're paying a bunch of copays, then you're going to be coming out of your pocket a lot. So you want to make sure that you select a plan that have the things that you need the most. And the only way to do that is, in my opinion, is to sit down with a licensed professional Medicare insurance broker like myself. You sit down, and I customize plans for each and every person. I ask you questions, and based on your answers to my questions is how I'm able to make a recommendation. I know you're getting a lot of conflicting information, especially from TV. Those Medicare commercials, I have to put them on mute. I can't even listen to another Medicare commercial. I'm being totally honest. I cannot listen to them. I hit the mute button because they're so misleading. Medicare is not a one-size-fits-all. It has so many different moving parts, and that's why it's so important to customize a plan to that particular person. You may not have the same plan. Like, you and your husband have different bodies, different needs, different medications. So there's no way that everything is going to fit for him. It's going to be the same for you. So I believe those 800 numbers are to call so that they can offer you things that you may or may not be qualified for. And that's quite a blow. It's like a tease. Why would you tell somebody that, they're going to save $148 a month, that they're going to get free rides, they're going to get free dental, free vision, and all these things if they do not qualify for it? So that's part of the questioning. You find out what the person qualifies for. Well, I find out what the person qualifies for, what their eligibilities are, and I don't offer them things that they don't qualify for, that they're not eligible for. And a lot of times that is based on your income. And the income for Medicare, it's called Medicare Savings Program. So it depends on which state you live in. So if you listen to enough of those Medicare commercials, when you see Jimmy J.J. Walker that used to be on Good Times, he'll say something like, you can save $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year, yada, yada, yada. Then if you listen to Joe Namath, he'll say something like, you can save $148 a month. And then there's some guys that say, maybe Joe Montana, because they got all these football players and celebrities doing these commercials now, you can save $144 a month. So that information is playing here in Connecticut. And $100 a month just is incorrect. It's just wrong information. So when you call those numbers, they try to see what you qualify for before. What they do is they tell you qualify for something before they know what you're eligible for. And then when you get on the phone, they're like, oh, no, sorry, you don't qualify for that. But let me try to enroll you into any plan. And that's just not a good way to do business. And once they enroll you into that plan, let's say something goes wrong. 2 or 3 weeks later, your medications change or something just isn't right. There's like 100 billion people on Medicare, so the chances are something could go wrong. So let's just say something goes wrong. Who are you going to call? Are you going to be able to call that 800 number and talk to that same person, and are they going to be able to resolve your problems? That's another reason why you need a personal insurance broker to take care of your business that's right here in Connecticut. Those people are calling from all over the country. They're calling from other states. They don't even know what you qualify for here in Connecticut, especially when you hear $100 a month. So it is just good to always have someone that you can call, not an 800 number, but the cell phone number, because that's what I leave with people. I leave them my cell phone number. Once I enroll them in a plan, I let them know that I'm going to be there for them, throughout your entire Medicare life. And once you go on Medicare, you're always on Medicare. So I'll be there for you to answer questions. I will be there for you to give you annual reviews every single year, because you need to have a review. Things change or could change in a year, and sometimes they don't, but a lot of times they do. You may change medications, like I said, or unfortunately you may develop another illness, diabetes, high blood pressure. We just don't know. We're getting older and our bodies are frail and things are just going to happen. So it's good to sit down with someone to make sure that when something does happen, there's a cell phone number that you can call, and someone that will come to your house, drive anywhere in Connecticut, sit at your kitchen table and discuss that problem with you personally and come up with a resolution. I just believe that's the way things should be done, not just an 800 number to enroll you on a plan and you never hear from that person again. I just don't think that's the way things need to be done. And so, on that note, the Medicare annual enrollment period is going to end on December 7th. So I believe you have about 18 more days to review your plan. And if you like to have a free confidential needs analysis in your home or in my office, I have 2 offices, one in Shelton, one in Farmington, whichever one is convenient, or like I said, in your home. you can always give me a call and I'll be happy to come out and provide you with the information at no cost and no obligation to you. And I will make the right recommendation for you because I'm an independent broker, which means I don't have just one company that I work for. I'm contracted with several different Medicare companies, and I'll be able to help you that way. And I also wanted to stress one more time that it is so important to understand what the Medicare Savings Program is. So I have been in this business going on 8 years, and I've sat down with folks all over Connecticut that did not understand what the Medicare Savings Program is. So I decided to do a radio show. And, I paid to do this show, and it's just to give out free information because there's so much confusion about that information. It's on Tuesdays. It's only about 15 minutes. It's all I can afford, but it's there every single Tuesday, and there's all different types of information because I want to make sure that you have the right information. If you have the right information, you can take advantage of those benefits that comes along with having the right information. Without the information, you can't take advantage of the benefits. And I can tell you the confusion with the Department of Social Services gray card. Now that gray card, it looks the same. It says DSS on it, social services or whatever, but it have different benefits loaded on those cards. There are people who qualify for money, food stamps, and Medicare, and co-pays, and deductibles. Then there are folks that only qualify for Medicare Part B, your co-pays, and your deductibles. Then there are people that only qualify for the Medicare Part B. So it's all based on your gross monthly income. And it has absolutely nothing to do with assets. That's where most of the confusion comes in. I sat down with folks that said, well, they own a house, have a 401k, and they're afraid that if they take advantage of the Medicare Savings Program, that the state of Connecticut will come after them and, take their house or dip into their 401k or whatever, or garnish their wages or whatever. The Medicare Savings Program is non-recoverable. That means that the state will not go after you for anything. I have clients that, have assets that they roll it over and invest, and it never hits their checking account. It's not counted as income, which means they can stay above that, whatever level it is, which right now is $22.65 a month, and they're able to take advantage of all the benefits of a Medicare Savings Program. So that's one of the things that I'm just extremely passionate about because I sat down with this one guy. He's disabled, and he's been disabled for 2017. So this is 2021, so about 4 years. And I was referred to him because somebody said, why don't you talk to this girl about your Medicare? Come to find out, this guy has been eligible for 4 years to have the state of Connecticut pay for his Part B premium, pay all of his co-pays, pay all of his deductibles, and take advantage of a ton of other extra benefits. He just found out about it a month ago. I just enrolled him on it. And his brother, who's his caregiver, said, I wish I had known about this a long time ago. We could have been saving a ton of money because he lives with his brother and his brother pays for everything. And so don't get caught not knowing is my point. It's okay to get the information. It's okay to already know that you're right, but confirm it with somebody. You got nothing to lose if you confirm what you already think. So that Medicare Savings Program is just essential to so many people. It puts so much money back into homes. If it's a married couple and you're eligible for it, that's going to put back $300 a month into your house, or $148.50 each. I just round that up to $300 a month, which is $3,600 a year That is a huge savings. You know what they say, a penny saved is a penny earned. And here's some more good news for you. Well, actually, it's really not good news. I'm being sarcastic. Um, the Medicare premium for your Part B is going up to from $148.50 per month to $170.10. It is going up on January 1st. So now it's even more crucial, more important that you find out what you qualify for. That's a pretty big chunk. And if it's, like I said, a couple, husband, wife, that's what, $340 per month that you're going to be spending out of pocket for your Medicare Part B premium. And so, just to explain what Medicare Part B is, Medicare Part A is your inpatient hospital. That's all that covers with the annual deductible. And then your Medicare Part B premium, and you're entitled to Medicare Part A. If you work 10 years or 40 quarters in this country and you pay into Medicare, like you pay your federal taxes, Social Security, Medicare taxes, then you're entitled to inpatient hospital stay, which is Medicare Part A, when you turn 65, or if you're disabled for 24 months, or if you have ERSD. Those are the three ways that you can qualify to be on Medicare. So once you qualify for that, the Medicare Part A is an entitlement. It's like you prepaid for it, while you were working. The Medicare Part B, the reason that's $170 per month is because that covers your doctors, your medical supplies, and things like that. Your outpatient. And it only covers 80% of it. And that's going to cost you $170 effective January 1st. And then once you have that's considered original Medicare. Medicare Part A, hospital, Medicare Part B, doctor visits, medical supplies. And then Part B, like I said, covers the 80%. Now, how are you going to cover the 20%? There's two ways you could do that. There's a traditional supplement way that you can pay for the 20%, God forbid something happens, or there's a Medicare Advantage plan, Part C, which I'm talking about right now, that ends December 7th to pay for that 20%. You just don't want to have just Medicare Part A and Medicare Part B and not have any type of supplement or co-insurance to cover that 20%. Because God forbid, worst case scenario, if you get a $100,000 bill, then your portion of it is going to be $20,000. So you want to make sure that you have enough health insurance to cover that 20%. And right now, I can't think of anything more important than health insurance and life insurance. That's another thing that's really, really important, that's neglected as well as long-term care insurance. So when I sit down with folks, I go over those 4 areas, not all on the same day because it's overwhelming. So I do your health care, your long-term care and post-hospital care, your final expenses, and then retirement income. That's a huge category that a lot of folks don't think about when they retire. I'll tell you a short story. I sat down, and I have a lot of stories to tell because I sit down with 10 to 15 families every single week, and I've been doing this for years, and I learn from other people. I sat down with this family. They had good jobs, the husband and wife. Their children are grown, moved on, and they had great jobs. They retired with a nice 401k. They had their health and everything. Now they're older. Now they're in their 80s, okay? They still have their home, and their health is deteriorating. They're getting, sick and need, supplies like diabetes supplies and things like that, which is really expensive. So now, after 20 years of, living off of their 401k, that money has practically run out. And this is something a lot of folks do not understand about your 401k, is that when you start your 401k, you're in your 30s, it's pre-tax, you haven't paid any taxes on it yet, okay? 401ks are considered a spend down account, meaning that at some point you can run out of money, because the main reason a lot of folks run out of their 401k, 403bs or 457s, whatever that pension number is that you have, is because of RMDs. And RMDs are required minimum distributions. That's what Uncle Sam wants. That's what he does to get his taxes. You haven't paid any taxes on your 401k. When you turn 72 years old and you build up your 401k and there's like $1 million in there, you're going to be in a really high tax bracket, and your RMDs are going to start at 72, and Uncle Sam is going to say, okay, you're 72 now, I want my tax money, and they're going to force you to take out, and it starts out little, 4.1%, right around that area. Every single year, that number, that 4.1, gets higher and higher and higher. So year 10 or 12, you're forced to take out somewhere in the neighborhood of 10% of your 401k and pay taxes on it. Now, when your money's in a 401k, it's in the market. You could lose money. I mean, God forbid, if we have another 2000 or another 2008, you could lose money, and that's not going to change anything with Uncle Sam. He's still going to want his 10% of that money. And that's why people run out of money. They don't understand what required minimum distributions are, and they don't understand how to, manipulate their money or have their money work as hard for them as they worked for it. There are so many financial contracts where you can roll a 401k over, and those contracts guarantee that you will never lose money, unlike if it was in the market. You can only take advantage of the gains, and it would help you gain interest to pay the taxes on your 401k. As the government mandates, you're taking out more and more, 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8%, or whatever that number is. So on some years, you're making, like the stock market was doing really well, some years you're getting 18%, or you might get even 4%. But the most important thing is you're not losing anything. That's what we call zero is the hero, when you're not losing any money and you're gaining money and you're not running out of money. So that's one option to, never run out of money. Another option is you can roll your pension over, your 401k, I'll say, and you can elect to take guaranteed lifetime income payments. Now, what that means is it's almost the same type of contract, but say you roll over $100,000 and you leave the money in there for, a couple years or however long you think you're going to need to take income. And what these contracts do is they guarantee that you'll get, I'm just going to pick a round number, based on your investment, you're going to get $500 or $1,000 every single month for the rest of your life, even if you exceed the initial principal investment. And then if you, unfortunately die early, then you can leave that money to a beneficiary. There's just so many ways to look at how to never run out of money. And, 20 years ago, I didn't know about this. A lot of people just didn't know about this. And so that information is out there. It's worth it just to have a conversation, just to see in writing. And, what we do is we illustrate in a contract, illustrations year by year from age 65 to year 100. So age 65 to age 100. And it illustrates it out every single year what your investment will look like, and it guarantees that you will never lose any money. So if it was 2008 and the market crashed like crazy, you wouldn't lose a penny, but you wouldn't gain any interest either. Like I said, that's what we call zero is the hero. So I just wanted to mention a little bit about that. And, okay, speaking of good jobs, I have some information from Bridgeport Boat Works. I'm a member of the Minority Business Association on the east end of Bridgeport, and this organization is dedicated to working for the community. The director, Tom McMillan, is doing some really wonderful things. I got to get him in on the show, but he is just so busy right now. I called him right before the show, and he was in a meeting. But anyway, we had a meeting with Bridgeport Boat Works a couple weeks ago, Hornblower, and it was just amazing what they're trying to do in the city of Bridgeport in terms of it, and it's really going to open up in January. But I got this email, so you can go to bridgeportboatworks.com, go to their website. There are so many jobs that they're offering, and they want people in the community of Bridgeport. I'm going to just read here a couple of the jobs that they have listed. They have an electrician. They're looking for a full-time electrician to work on the shipyard, on the electrical systems for commercial passenger vessels. They also have a painter. They're looking for a painter, full-time. These are all full-time jobs. They're looking for a pipe fitter. I don't know what that is, but they're looking for one. They're looking for a marine mechanic supervisor, a marine craftsman. And this is just to name a few: a marine mechanic, a fabricator, a welder tier 1. They're looking for a naval architect, project manager, a joiner outfitter, have no idea what that is, and a quality assurance special, and a welder tier 2. So please go out to Bridgeport Boat Works website and look at some of those jobs. Let your friends know about them. And they're also looking for, they're going to be having jobs for children, or I'm sorry, young men, young adults, straight out of high school also. On that note, I'm sorry we are out of time, but it's been a pleasure, and I will tune in to you next week. That's my radio show on Tuesday. I just got confused. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show, and we're on your side.